This is for, but you're going to use this audio, right?
I am going to use this audio. That's right.
Okay.
That's right. It is. Once I figure out how to
hey,
mute this, hey, we're live on that.
hey, everybody.
Hey, everybody.
Welcome to the first ever Postgame show.
First ever live reaction postgame Lions. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's the Lions.
Today, Sunday, September 24th, your Detroit Lions 20, the Atlanta Falcons 6. The Detroit Lions move to a 2-1 and first place of the NFC North as it stands currently. Yes, we still have other games going on, like a 70 burger getting hung on the Falcons. Broncos by the Dolphins.
Wow.
The Lions beat the Falcons today, so that's where we're excited. And let's go ahead and take a look at our team here. This is a pretty solid. This is what I would call a team win.
I tell you,
I think this is the best way to call that. Would be a team win. And Goff didn't play perfect today, to say the least. Sorry, I got distracted there for a second.
Yes, you did.
Goff today was 22 for 33, 243, a touchdown and an interception for an 85.8. You had Jahmyr Gibbs, who saw the big question of the day was the upside of his ability to handle a load. Well, he had 17 rushes for 80 yards, 4.7 average, and he was just there was a lot of very bright moments today where he was just a second from breaking it for a huge one.
I'm going to give you a little Jahmyr Gibbs information while we're chatting.
Okay.
Sure. Jahmyr Gibbs became the first rookie running back for Detroit to post 50-plus yards in each of his first 3 career games since RB. You may have heard of him. He's Mr. Barry Sanders in 1989. That's yards from scrimmage. What? The only other Lion rookie running back to do so, James Jones, 1983. Silly Bims, 1980. Mel Farr Superstar, 1967. There you go. 50 yards from scrimmage. These are their first 3 career games. That's a big one there, isn't it?
It's a big one.
Okay.
We saw the workload of Zonovan Knight and Craig Reynolds. Each Craig with 4, Zonovan with 3 rushes, 15 for Craig and 13 for Zonovan. Receiving game was very much heavy as Sam Laporta has established himself as one of Goff's favorite targets for the 8 catches for 84 yards and a touchdown today. Every time. We actually only had 4 people catch the ball today, which is pretty crazy.
That is crazy.
The way that the teams, we'll go over the comparisons as teams, and it's not even close, but we really couldn't get going either today. Like I said, we had 4 people catch the ball today for us, while they had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 different. Kickers were good. Patterson was very good today. Jack Fox is always good. He had 6 punts today. He was out-averaged by the opposing team, but still cooked the longest punt today with 62. I think our biggest takeaway is that Brian Branch is a absolute freak of nature. 11 solo tackles, 11 total, 2 passes defended, or pass breakups is what people like to call them. You had Aiden Hutchinson today finally get the sack as well as a strip recovery. And like I was saying, when you compare the 2 teams, it's not even close in terms of offensive efficiency. We had 358 total yards to their 183 total yards.
So they had like 100 in the second half.
Yeah,
they had like 88 in the first half.
Yes, they actually ran more plays than us. Their average gain per play was 2.8, while ours was 5.6. Yeah, that's it was a bad day for them.
Yeah.
But we did win the turnover battle. No, we drew it. We each had a turnover.
Yeah,
we had 10 penalties to their 4.
Goff had
We had
that
a
ugly pick.
Yeah.
Oh, that was an ugly pick.
Yeah.
Speaking of Goff, here's a little Goff information. He scored his first rushing touchdown as a Lion today. How about
Yes,
that?
and a nice RPO right at the end zone.
Yeah, he scored that. And then now the Lions have scored 20-plus games in 20 points. Take two. The Lions have scored 20-plus points in 12 straight games, tying for the second longest streak in team history. The longest streak by the Lions was 13 straight 20-point games in 1995, and that was quite an offense in 95. There's no doubt about that.
No doubt about it.
No
My
doubt
favorite
about that.
offense.
What's that?
That's my favorite offense.
Are you being facetious with the old man? The old man remembers his stuff, okay?
You just never know.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy.
Let's see here. Do we want to do some scores around the world?
Sure, we can do that if you'd like.
Okay. You have the Colts of Indianapolis versus the Ravens of Baltimore. That's knotted up at 19-19 with 2 minutes and 30 seconds left in overtime.
19-19.
The 4:05 game, we have the Carolina Panthers up 3-0 against the Seattle Seahawks. We just had kickoff for our middle games. The 4:25s are kicking off.
So I'm used to considering the late games back in my day.
Right now, I guess. Yeah. Well, we have Sunday night tonight, and then 2 tomorrow.
As always,
so you have Cowboys and Cardinals kicking off, and Bears and Chiefs. That is not going to be a good game.
Shouldn't be, but you never know.
You never know.
I see that Coach Campbell is heading to the podium.
Okay.
And
I guess we'll take a live look.
We will take a live look at the podium. And bear with me just a moment. I'm almost there. I'm at the podium. Let's see. He's at the podium. Let's take a look and see what he's got to say.
That was a big win. I was proud of our guys. I was really proud of the staff. It's not always easy to deal with me.
Are you getting audio?
So they did a great job of prepping these players. And
Maybe
collectively, wanting to bounce back after last week. It was a tough loss, and we knew the type of opponent was coming in here. That's a good football team, and that's a physical football team. And if you're not on your game, I mentioned this, but that team will run right through you. And man, we played a physical, violent game. Our defense was outstanding. AG did a hell of a job, and we looked like a hungry team. We looked like a hungry, violent defense. We got takeaways, we had tackles, TFLs. Guys were flying around the football, pretty good in coverage. And we were around the quarterback a lot. So I was proud of those guys. I was proud when we needed the most on offense. We came through with a big one. Goff hung in there. He took a few shots, but man, he played a tough game. And that old line just kept banging away, But look, it's a great win. It really is, knowing the opponent that we just came from. So, questions? Look,
Okay, I paused that for a little bit. The Cubs having a hard time. He's not hearing anything. So I know that went out over the broadcast. So give me a second here, and you won't miss a thing. Let me get this shared correctly with that's not it. No, that's not it. I think that might be it. Oh, no, that ain't it either. Bear with me, everybody. It's a work in progress. It's kind of weird that you suddenly couldn't hear. Well,
yeah, I'm not sure.
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, you probably will hear it through the thing once I figure out what screen it's on. And it is Lions
Or if you just want
Falcons
to give me
week
the
3.
stamp, I guess I can.
Here it is. I got it. All
Okay.
right, I'm going to continue with that, and hopefully the Cub will be able to hear what's going on. If you can't, say the word, okay? Here you go, everybody. He just taken a question. You know, it was a tough game, the whole thing, coach talk. All right, here we go.
I think that those are prideful guys in there. You know, we got players that are you know, it means something to them, and so do the coaches. And so, you know, we're collectively trying to help ourselves get a little bit better. And I thought AG did a great job with the game plan. We wanted to find a way to generate a little more pressure, and we did that with a couple of things that we did. But also, guys really showed up. They really won their one-on-ones today. You know, a lot of guys. So, and we fought on the back end. You know, we really did. I thought we covered pretty good. You know, certainly there's some penalties we got to clean up.
Clean 'em up.
And we knew there would be. You know, this crew is they've been the highest in 2 years, so we knew there would be, but it's still too much. We can't have that. But we overcame it, and defense really set the tone for the day, and I thought the offense finished it. I totally agree. He really stepped up. You know, you could feel his energy. And I've said this, he gets better every practice, every day. He gets a little bit better. And now some of those critical errors aren't as, you know, particularly today, you know, he's making big plays in critical moments as opposed to the other way. So there again, he's just, the more he plays, the better he gets. And the more he understands what we're trying to do with him. And he's a playmaker, you know.
Offense stepped up with Jameer Gibbs coming through with 80 yards, 17 carries, stepping in for Montgomery. Can you speak on that?
Yeah, Gibbs did some good things, you know. Look, that D-line, that's a good D-line. And they rotated them, but that first D-line in there, and they're tough now, you know. Grady Jarrett and Onyemata and Campbell, and, you know, so we knew we were, you know, we had our work cut out for us. It was going to be a challenge. But we also knew it was going to take a while. We had to just hang in there and have patience about it and keep going. And look, I thought as that game went on, particularly there late, Gibbs started going. You know, he started to find a little bit of his rhythm.
Yeah, he did run better as the game went on.
And I think that's a good thing. And that's kind of what I felt about. He just needs, when the light really comes on, it's going to come on. And I could feel there towards the end, there's a couple of those runs, these back-to-back runs where you feel like, all right, here he goes. He's starting to feel this a little bit. So and he'll only get better with time and with reps. He just will, you know. That's,
So you mentioned the defensive line being prideful guys. You think this was a case of them hearing some of the slander that was directed towards them this week and taking that to heart, or just sort of finding the breakthrough?
slander.
I mean, just people talking sort of in the media about, you know, how they're not getting there, they're not getting it done, the defense.
I don't know, because I just go back there again. I mean, last week we turned the ball over for touchdown for 7 points, and then we turned the ball over there in the tight red, you know, and you kind of spotted them 14 points, you know. But I guess, yeah, I don't know. I don't know how many of those guys that read into that, and if they're getting slandered, they play better. I don't know how they respond to that.
That's slander,
I just know collectively
brother.
as a defense, we were on it, and guys came out, and everybody was in tune with the way we wanted to play. And it's not like we didn't play hard last week. It's just, man, you got to clean things up, and
that makes
you got to have everybody on board. And I just thought the game plan was great. I thought the guys executed it well, and I thought we played with a lot of intensity and tempo, set the tone for the day, and it just really never stopped.
Did you feel like Hutchinson was getting closer and closer and was due for that type of game?
I wish they could.
Look, anytime Hutch rushes, I think he's going to get there because he's just it's the nature of the way he rushes. Man. He's high motor. He's got craft about what he does. You know, he's not a one-trick pony. He's got a couple of different moves, and he's got ability. So I always expect it. You know, and just there again, I just bring this up. The sacks are always going to be good because you're getting them to the ground. But there's a lot of times where just because you're not getting a sack doesn't mean you're not a quarterback. So
yeah, that's what I'm saying. But if they have
but it was good.
room where they hold
for
up
us
the
to finish
conferences,
out
you can
that
just
way.
build in or whatever.
I know.
Offensive line makeshift, gaped off a lot of time.
Offensive line, big shift.
Yeah. Listen, we talk about all the time, and that's really defensively too. I mean, we had Nelson, then Skip's got to come in, then Soyersdale's got to come in.
Skip.
Defense, we don't have Kirby. Iffy, I thought Iffy made some plays today. At safety, he's really
iffy.
never played very much at
It's
safety.
iffy.
He's been repping there a little
agree.
bit, so that was encouraging. But we talk about it all the time. It's next man up, and that's
I've heard that saying.
that's a
before.
credit to Brad and the depth that we
make
have
that
on
a
this
little
team in
bigger.
areas, and it's paying dividends, But no, it's not easy.
Does
It's not easy
anybody
for
not have a
anybody. But those
nickname on
guys
this
really
team?
stepped up and competed, and
Well, when you
Punter.
have
and
names
that
like
O-line took care
if
of.
fella-
They
if
were
it's,
making sure we were
if
taking
fella
care of
mile a
Soyersdale, and
woo-woo.
he battled
Yeah,
out
when
there.
you have
he
teams
really
like
did.
names
So
like that, it's hard
backs
to
ran
not.
hard, and we did
Gotta
what we
come up
needed to
with
do to
some
control
nicknames
that
at some
game,
point,
And
so-
I
look,
understand.
when you lose a couple of tackles in a
But not
game, that's not
everybody
easy,
slaughters the names like I do.
And when you're without
Yeah,
a few
they just
pieces,
give 'em
that's not
nicknames
easy for Ben.
instead.
To always call a game like that.
Hey,
when you're,
I don't wanna
you're
really
missing
learn
a few
your name,
things here and there, but
Iffy, Biffy.
I thought he did a heck of a job calling
Yeah.
the game. I thought that Goff,
Hutch.
stepped in there,
Hutch.
made some big throws, played tough. I thought the backs
Goff.
ran hard, and I thought the O-line just they
Goffer.
kept pounding away, and we finally were able to break it open there at the end of the game. So it was definitely a
That
team
was
effort.
your standard NFL game there, boy. Just grind it out, and then
Yep.
it's
You're just the
anybody's
better team.
game until you can get a little
So
bit
it's
ahead.
very difficult. You can't always, as much as you want to talk about playing that type of defense, it's hard to bank on that. Offensive football has really come a long way, and so it's
Since
very
they invented the
difficult.
forward
And I think that's
pass,
pretty
they've
telling
really-
for
things have
what we
really
were able to
gotten
do
crazy.
today.
He
That's
seems to have a good grasp.
that was an impressive
on
performance by our
the
guys.
concept of the NFL.
Well,
It helps
yes.
when you're able to take them out of what they do best, which we were able to do. That's what we were trying to do last week against
Doesn't
Seattle
talk
is take them out of
stupid
that
shit.
game. But we
That's
were
what
able
I
to
like
do it
about Dan
today,
Campbell.
and now you feel like you got the upper hand.
a
So
bit
we
of
were
a
able to do
meathead,
that
but boy, he
early.
knows his
Offense was
football.
able to hold on to that ball and
Yeah, he
score
does.
enough
He's
Gonna
points.
squish that cat.
Kind of stay within that 2-score.
Look at that thing. Well, at
lead.
I
least
mean, it must be
really
the
allowed us to
caffeine
do a
that
lot
just
of
has
things
him
defensively.
absolutely cracked out. Because he's the whole time, he hasn't stopped fidgeting with his hat.
Oh no,
or
he
his hair.
tugs, he pulls. What I don't like is when he puts his hands on the podium and he starts tapping them because it comes through the mic like
Yeah. Thud, 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 thud.
thud, 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 thud.
Yeah.
Ah,
He just wants to
Well,
throw a
I
dip
think
in,
that a lot
grab
of that
beer
is-
and
Yeah.
sit down.
goes home tonight.
That's because he's built that trust with Goff.
Golfer.
He's a very trustworthy player because of the way that he practices and the fact he doesn't make the same mistake twice. And
I
so
bet he does.
when you're a young guy like he is,
Everybody makes the
and you
same
can
mistake
see
twice.
vast improvement, and you're a coach or
I believe it.
you're Goff,
Oh, David
and you're
Blaine.
asking for something once,
David Blaine.
and you're going to get it.
That's just a
And you're
joke.
not going to get the other ever
Sorry.
again. That's easy to build trust with a guy like that. So he's got a pretty good rapport with him. He's beginning to look for him a little
pretty good
bit, and
rapport.
which only helps us. That only alleviates a little stress off of Saint and the other guys. And
Do you happen
the
to know
kid's
who the
playing pretty good
sponsor
right
is
now. And he's
of,
I told the staff
post-game press
yesterday he's just
conference?
quietly
Rocket Mortgage?
getting better
Whoa.
and better and better. And I don't know how quiet it is anymore, but he really is just. He's beginning to take off.
Dan, on your ball that Jared threw hardest, Justin and Brad, I think the ball that Jared threw hardest was the one that he chucked into the stands after the touchdown run. Whose call was that? You were getting credit for it? Was that Jared calling his own number? Or is that
No. That was Ben's call. It's a great call. That was a great call. And look, those always are
Talking
going to
about
mean
the
more to
read option
Goff because
there.
he still thinks he's a running quarterback.
not
He
a
doesn't
cow
want anybody to
anymore.
forget
Stay
that.
with
Look, I can
us.
throw it, but don't forget I can run it. I think.
No,
he-
we're
he,
awake. That was just a
No,
stretch.
listen, it was a great job. It really was. He felt the end close and he pulled it. It's not something we do. That's rare that we call that, but Ben thought it felt like it would
100%
work,
rare.
and Goff
100%
executed. It was a
rare.
great job.
I'm kind of a medium rare kind of guy.
I'm a. I like a. I like
Yeah, it
a,
was
like a
designed.
medium rare plus.
You ever heard the crowd here? Because it's,
Nah. Yeah.
I was like, wait, it's pretty
Man, our fans were outstanding. It was loud.
Outstanding
It
in
was
the field.
loud, and I do believe it had an effect on them. And man, that was early, and it was all the way through the game. And when you're able to get them in some third downs, some of those nice 3rd and 8s, 3rd and 10s, our crowd really showed up. You always know when your eardrums are radiating like this, then it's pretty good. So, yeah, this is
Someone was upset that they didn't have free
this is the type of
earplugs
environment
for
you want to have.
fans.
Somebody's
Let
always
alone
upset about
paid
everything.
ones. You couldn't get them at all, though. They
No,
weren't mad
I
that
just
there was
applied a
none.
little
I'll
pressure.
tell you what.
And,
If I
and the
had the
guys did a heck of a
time, I
job. They
would,
responded well. The coaches really
buy a
did.
truckload
and,
of earplugs and sell them on
and
the
the players
street
did a
before the
great
game.
job. But we got back on our feet, and we got a
Ski
tough one now
masks
on
and
the road at
earplugs.
Green Bay,
And earplugs and
in
the
a short
number
week.
3.
Yes.
So this is the no sleep and do whatever you got to do to stay awake, and
That's what the cup says.
and put together a great game plan.
Doing whatever I
and for
can
the
to stay
players
awake at all times.
At all
Just
times.
in life.
they're on the. They got to have recovery, and that can be their sole focus. I mean, they got to do everything it takes to get their
There it
bodies
is.
back by
The hair.
Thursday.
I
So
would do that,
it's
but
not easy
okay,
on
head back
anybody,
on.
but that's what we're charged with.
Yeah, they're just icks that he has while he's talking.
Thanks.
Okay, there
right.
it is. He's gone. There it is, a blank screen, everybody. Bear with me just a moment, and I will.
That'll be a blank space,
I
baby.
will send that back there. There. What's it? What's going on? Yeah, we'll do that. Okay, we'll do this.
Transition.
I transitioned. A lot of transition going on. Let's see if I can find another guy. Oh yeah, we got stuff. Who's coming up next? What? Is that a commercial? Okay, that's DC. Amon-Ra St. Brown. Let me see. What do we got here? No, this does not look like the press conference. This is like a bullshit commercial. You'll have to excuse me. They're putting commercials on this thing? That's crazy. That's crazy. Let's see. Anybody else coming out yet? Boom, 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 boom.
Nope, nobody else yet.
Nobody else yet. Okay. All right. Just some highlights. Well, I think this is a good first crack at this.
Yeah.
What do you say?
I think so too. I'd agree with that.
Covered everything, and I think it's time to tell Teresa to log off.
Yeah. Our biggest supporter. Thanks, Mom.
Doing a great job, Teresa. We're very proud of you.
I think all in all,
everybody,
another great Lions victory, another fun weekend in the books. We will see you live Thursday. Noon for an 8-hour pregame.
Big noon Thursday. Oh boy, what time does that game start?
That would be an 8:15 kickoff.
Is that right? 8:15. Okay. Well,
at least that's what it was this past week.
Oh, Dolphins score more points in an NFL game since 1966.
6.
You got to look at the 1940 NFL championship game between the Bears and the, at that time, named Redskins. I believe it's an 84-0. And it took place like 3 weeks after the other team had won.
Wow.
To me, is the greatest turn. Let me see. Is it the 1940 NFL championship? Let me see. Championship.
73-0.
73. Okay. I did have the right game, though.
Yes, you were correct.
That's pretty good. 73-0, 28-0 at halftime, and then they put up they had 26, a 45 burger, as you would say. That is
1940 is a long time ago.
36,000 people in Washington to see the visiting Chicago Bears put up a 73.
Is that officially a shit pumping?
That is the official epitome of the shit pump. But here's the other part. Washington had defeated Chicago 7-3 3 weeks earlier.
That's crazy.
After the contest, Radskins owner George Preston Marshall told reporters that the Bears were crybabies and quitters when the going got tough. As the Bears prepared for the rematch, Chicago head coach George Papa Bear Hallis fired up his team by showing them newspaper articles containing Marshall's comments, then said, "Gentlemen, this is what George Preston Marshall thinks of you. Well, I think you're a great football team. Now get out there and prove it."
Hey, he said you're a bunch of pussies. Go beat him up.
Isn't that crazy though? That to me is the
Yes.
craziest NFL stat
Yes.
game.
Yeah.
That is
That's
something.
insane.
That is Sid
Yeah.
Luckman, Bob Bulldog Turner. That's a name for a football player, huh? 73-0. That had to be something.
That's a tough look.
That is a tough look. Okay. So,
all right, everybody. Thank you for joining us as always. This has
Sure.
been fun.
It was
Make sure
fun.
you join us for our live simulcast if this does make it onto the airwaves. Please make sure to join us on our live simulcast.
Yeah, I was looking at when we were going to simulcast. I'm sorry.
Yeah, so 7:30.
What time's kickoff? 8:15?
8:15.
Okay.
We'll be here at 5 to make sure the audio works.
Shoot. It still never worked right, so.
That's
Okay.
true. So,
all right,
either
everybody.
way, thank you guys. You know where to find us. X, formerly known as Twitter, at Lion Cup Podcast. That's the only one that matters. So.
Only one that matters.
Yeah. So.
Okay.
All right, everybody.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Stay classy, Detroit.
Stay classy, everybody.